Bologna. He got 11th at thingy, and he like topped some small regionals. And
Yeah.
yeah, so he said, do you know like apparently 16th place only has like 300 points?
Maybe less than that actually. Let me check.
Less, yeah, because he's not actually like that far behind in that case. So he's thinking about just trying for it.
16th is 284.
284, yeah. So he's actually not even like that far off it. Just to catch up before nationals, and then he'll have to play one of the big nationals.
Yeah.
So if he says that he's gonna go, then I might be like, yeah, fuck it. So I'll book a con with him and I'll go last minute. I'm surprised Jib is going. He doesn't seem like he still seems very like green, like very new to the game, but he wants to
Yeah, I don't think he's
go
actually
some.
traveled for an event before.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's weird to like your first travel to be one of the opens, but he I think he works a decent amount. So like when he gets the opportunity, he wants to go.
Yeah. Because he messaged me like, "Oh, you're gonna come?" And I was like, "Yeah, sorry, bro. Like, I'm actually starting a new job end of this month." So
Yeah.
yeah.
Are you working on your old job anymore, or are you done?
I should probably shouldn't talk about it right now, to be fair.
Oh, we're on stream. We're on stream.
Yeah, we're live. We'll talk about it later.
What's up, stream? Who here wants to hire JY Sharif?
I'm hired. I'm hired.
We
I don't need
charge
to be hired.
40 grand a month, and all he does is run his own YouTube channel. Does anyone want to hire him for that? 40 grand a month. He runs his own YouTube channel. That's what you're getting.
Okay. 4 people. Okay, let's go. Let's go. People are actually coming in. Let's go. All right, Twitch, we're live. We've got 2 people on Twitch. We're at 50 followers on Twitch as well, which is sick. Trying to get to 100. 4 people on YouTube. What is up, everybody? Who just left a comment? Wacky Nation. Hello, how are you this evening? Chilling. How are you? How are you doing? Thanks for tuning in. And now I'm just in the midst of sharing the links on Facebook. Where was my post? So you guys can see me make my Facebook post right now live on Twitch and YouTube.
All right, everyone. I want to see in the comments. Why is Josh Kelly your favorite Josh Yu-Gi-Oh player? Sorry to hear about the cold. Lucky Nation. Hope you feel better soon. Hope you're resting up.
Yeah, sorry to hear that you're unwell. Okay, so link in the Twitch. Ignore my YouTube feed. All right, there we go. I'm gonna share this everywhere. Bro, your name being Brixu Specialist was killing me, bro. I was editing the short when I was like sleeping. Yo, who just followed? Who just followed? Let's go. Oh, official Ahmed, thank you, bro. Official AMKM Ahmed, my bro, thank you for following. What's good, my guy? Yo, have you replied to me? Are you gonna come to the regional tomorrow? Let me know. Let me know, bro. Let me know. My man's following me on Twitch. Appreciate that. All right, we got 8 people on YouTube. I think this is a good place to start. All right, what's good? It's your boy JY, and I'm joined here by Josh Kelly, and we are breaking down the meta. We're going to be looking at current tournament results, and first we're going to look at the 300 YCS. We had three YCSs, Guadalajara, Dortmund, and Richmond. And then there's been a lot of regionals in the weekend following that. And then we're also going to discuss the new set that's just come out. Remind me the name,
Maze of Muertos.
Maze of Muertos. We're going to discuss the implications of that set and have a look at some of the cards as well. And yeah, yo, Matt, yo, what's good, JY? Just popping in real quick as I'm getting ready to go to the gym. Hope you have a good workout. Love to see you in the gym. You see, Josh has got his Gymshark gear on, representing right here. We do go gym and play Yu-Gi-Oh. All right, so let's start with the 300th YCSs. So we'll begin with Dortmund because that's the one that we went to. Our friend Josh here made a top 64. Jeez.
Just about.
Just about. And I think that's the cutoff to get points, right?
Yeah. So I came 64th place. If my tiebreakers were one place worse, 0 points, 0 anything. Yeah,
it's crazy. Well done though. Well done. Like it's a really like big step forward, especially like when every event is so critical in terms of like getting points and to make that playoff and secure your spot there. But yeah, just looking at it, it's pretty crazy to see. We've had a lot of talk about Yu-Gi-Oh dying, like Yu-Gi-Oh is struggling, but we had 2,284 people playing in America at Richmond, 2,658 people at Dortmund, Germany, and then we had 1,244 people at Guadalajara. So it's like we had 6,000 people playing Yu-Gi-Oh at the same weekend, and also Valentine's weekend, which is crazy. Like I feel like if it wasn't, Yu-Gi-Oh players having a girlfriend is hit or miss. Let's be real here. Majority of the community are single. Okay, but the fact that like it was on a holiday, like I feel like a lot of people, their partners would let them get away to a Yu-Gi-Oh event for that weekend. But it's crazy to see like the game is bigger than ever, and I feel like in Europe, like the YCSs are insane. Like I feel like it's unmatched. Like YCSs in Europe, the side events, just everything that's going on, like they keep getting bigger and better. Like they just do so much. Like now we have all these collabs. They got like Flying Chaos. They had the guys with like the Karibo bags, like these cool deck boxes, all these little pop-up shops. Yeah, it was awesome, man. Like how do you feel about like the YCS events in general in Europe?
Yeah, I mean, this weekend was really cool. I was literally just thinking, like, there is a YCS. Every Yu-Gi-Oh player on the west of the planet could go to a YCS that weekend. I played against one of my opponents one round. He was from, I don't exactly remember the country, but he was from an East Asian country. And he traveled all the way to Dortmund for one of these YCSs, which is crazy. And YCS Dortmund sold out. This player cap was because there were that many tickets. I had multiple friends there who were there without tickets playing. Like, I want to say there were 4,000 people in the venue playing Yu-Gi-Oh that weekend, and just 2,600 made it into the main event. Like, they're awesome events. There's always new stuff going on at the EU ICSs, and I love it. And I hope they keep stepping it up, because it did feel like previously Yu-Gi-Oh was getting outdone. It was getting outdone by other games, and like you would look at one of our YCS, you're like, oh, this is a really cool event. And then you look at a Pokemon event and you're like, oh, but that is better. But this weekend was really like a spectacle and a really cool event. And it really felt like a special thing to go to, and a really fun, really enjoyable, really inclusive event. And yeah, it was awesome. It was so cool.
Yeah, for sure. Pot of Duality says, yo, what's good, guys? Yo, what's up, bro? What's up, Nyan? Ahmed, still waiting for a European 3v3 YCS. That'll be awesome to get one of those soon, for sure. And one thing I have to say is, like, I went to my first American YCS in like October. I went to YCS Anaheim, and like the Americans are awesome. I feel like the Americans have a lot of energy, and they just the vibes are really sick with them. But in terms of the event itself, the YCS really just didn't compare to Europe. Like they don't use Neuron, like because it's like a different company that run it there, so they haven't like fully adapted Neuron. So Friday you have to go queue up for like half an hour to register, and then like for pairings, you don't use Neuron. They have this separate website, where you got to fill your Cozy ID, and like it's just not the same. Like when you report your match result, you got to do it on paper and sign the slip like you did back in the day still, and go hand it in. And then also the big one for me that shocked me was on the Friday. There's no side events at all. Like
That is
for
kind of
us,
crazy because the Friday, you have to get there for the Friday because you're going to miss out on the 3v3. And that's like the
literally,
most fun event of the weekend.
literally, you can start your weekend with a giant card.
Yeah, literally. The Friday is so much fun. I always
Yeah.
regret not making it for the Friday.
Yeah, for sure. Like this time, I literally went early for the for the Friday. Like I came Thursday just so I could have all of Friday to be at the venue and try to play insides like winner mats and things like that. So yeah, so let's hop right in. Let's go to the 300 YCS Dortmund. Um, so if we look at the breakdown of like the kind of the top cut, you can see the top 64, Drake Hotel was the most represented deck. We're not surprised. Second, Radiant Typhoon. Third, Malice. I feel like this is the EU thing. We're gonna see how it compares to the other two YCSs, but Malice is a very popular deck here, so it's not surprising to see 9 of them in the top. And what's cool about that with the Drake Hotel 18, three of those 18 players was from London. Was the lads?
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
Josh, Corey,
Yeah.
and Connor, man. That's cool to see that. All 3 of them made top 64, pretty much playing the same deck. And Connor almost taking it there and finishing like 14th, which was insane to see. And yeah, man, like Yummy having 7 in top 64 is quite interesting to see as well. And Mitsu, like these are the 2 decks still holding on to their place in the format. And then Vanquish Soul only had 2 places in top 64. And the fact that it managed to win is a crazy kind of like conversion. It took it there. It took it there. How greedy? How greedy? They got 3 Razin, 3 Stake Your Soul, but their Susan went to 1, their Holy Sue went to 1, but he still managed to take it there and clutch another YCS win. That's 2 YCS wins in a row for Vanquish Soul, right? They won Bologna and then they won Dortmund.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see because I'm not a Vanquish Soul believer. I don't think that deck is very good. But in the finals, they did draw the Holy Sue. And in the North American finals, they did draw the Holy Sue. So if you're skillful like that, if you know how to draw the Holy Sue, then that's the best deck in the game. I don't draw
Yeah,
Holy Sue. I don't have that skill.
yeah, man. And for Lunar Light, which is also quite interesting to see Lunar Light converting quite well into the top 64. And then 1 White Forest deck, 1 Bestial deck, 1 Mermail as well. 1 Mermail actually made it to the top 32. I think I saw that profile somewhere on YouTube. But yeah, just having a look there. So big shout out to Diego for winning, YCS Dortmund with Vanquish Soul. We can just have a quick look at that deck. We're not going to spend too much time on it as this has already been covered like extensively. Let me just zoom out a little bit
Yeah.
here.
I mean, the cool thing to see is that it's less of a K9 deck now, which is what the bandits kind of aimed for. And that's kind of what they're leaning towards. They've got multiple Borgers in the deck.
Yeah.
They're playing the trap in the main deck now. It's really cool. This deck is definitely a lot more fun to play against now that it's Vanquish Soul. And it's not more fun to play with in my testing. The Vanquish Soul cards are really, really cool.
Yeah. And just quick mentions in the chat there. Nyan, Ahmed, hop on Master Duel 3v3. Donny, mate, a JY stream on a Wednesday. Life is good. Yes, baby. And I'll be streaming more often. Me and Josh are going to be streaming tomorrow afternoon around 1 to 2 o'clock. We're going to be opening some of the new set. And then I'll probably do a live stream Friday before I go to the regionals this weekend. And then next week I'll be streaming at least 3 to 4 days a week. We're gonna be going crazy. And Wacky Nation, and here is me still waiting for Misk at 3. You're probably gonna be waiting for a long time. I feel like Misk is a really powerful card. I feel like it's a bit risky to have Miscellaneousaurus at 3. It's a bit sketchy. What do you think about Misk at 3, Josh?
I hate that card because I don't even think it's that good. But why is it Sangan Kaiman, but it's a lingering effect?
It came out
Like,
before Sangen Kaiman.
yeah, like I don't think cards should stay unaffected. You know, apart from Liger, I'm okay with Liger. But
You're okay,
why
Liger.
you've activated this effect, and now for the rest of this turn, not the whole turn, but basically enough for the whole turn. My cards just don't say words on them. Like I look at my card. Every card's a normal monster. That's ridiculous, man.
Crazy, crazy. I feel like what I've noticed about you, Josh, you're a bit of a hater. I feel like I ask you a lot of times, oh, what do you think about this? Your response is, I hate this shit. I hate it. Like
Bro,
you hate
it's
a lot of shit,
bullshit,
bro.
man. It's bullshit,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
You
yeah.
activate a card and all my effects just disappear. Every effect. Is that meant to be okay? If they reprint Misk, but say like you can discard this card, do nothing, banish from the grave, summon from deck, I'm okay with that. I
Bro,
don't mind
okay,
that.
stop. We can't start irate every single card, man. All right.
That's not
But yeah, I
right,
need to
man.
gonna crack open my Pepsi here. Need to stay fueled. So Jin Zom says you got to get Jordan Gallagher back on the channel after his regional win. He did win the prestigious Dublin regional. We will cover that in a sec, and I will definitely have Jordan
Congrats
back
to
on in the
Jordan.
future.
Congrats to Jordan.
And Danilo, no way it's VS on the screen when I turn it on. I feel harassed. Yo, I'm sorry. Let's just move on. Let's move on. All right, I'm gonna close it. Let's
Yeah,
go to our
Danilo
YCS
definitely does
finalists.
not want to see that list, man.
The one of the best Drake Hotel players up there, Danilo, with his Drake Hotel branded deck. He's been on an insane run this year. We're going to be seeing him in the playoffs this summer, the top 16 EU World Points playoffs for sure. And also, Danilo, we got to get you. We got to do some collaborations together, my friend. We need to have you on the channel soon. So yeah, we'll definitely got to do something. Ahmed, what? Mist is broken. Tweety, JY, how you doing, gang? What's up, bro? Tweety is one of the OGs. Like Tweety, this guy's. I met him like when I first started playing competitive Yu-Gi-Oh back in 2016, and he actually invited me to like the first group chat, like first kind of inner circle group chat. It was called the Round Table, and that's where I met like a lot of players from like America, like Worlds competitors, YCS winners, and I was just this guy. I had zero tops, bro. Like nothing. I was just fresh off my first regional top, and I got put into this chat luckily, and that helped me a lot. And Nyan says, I can't lie, Josh is a hater. You are a hater, bro.
Listen, yeah.
Um,
I can start hating on Nyan if you want. I can start.
give him a little hate. Give him a little hate.
Listen, yeah. This guy thinks, no. I'll be peaceful today. I like you, Nyan.
You know what, Nyan, we need to get you on just so you can chat shit to Josh in it. Like the next
Should we
time,
do a
next time.
Nyan feature match review? Nyan feature match review.
No. Let's not. I watched that feature.
I think he played pretty well. His opponent summoned a water barrier statue, right? Against the water deck.
Yeah. I saw it. The Mermail was crazy. It was crazy. Donnie, Holly Sue back to 3, man. DT still chilling there with Firmino. Yeah. And Nyan's backing down. No. Don't even try it. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the other decks. Let me just zoom back in. So we had Keanu here, who topped with Drake Hotel, fairly kind of standard deck list. The Exoton, though.
Yeah,
The Exoton tech. I think Danilo also played Exoton, right?
yeah. I think Keanu and Danilo played pretty much the same list.
This Exoton tech in the side.
Yeah, so they decided to play 3 Ecclesia with the Exoton Knight, which is really cool, especially with the first YCS when they don't really know about it, right? They don't know that people are trying to Exoton, so you put 2 4s on board, and they're not thinking, oh, my opponent's going to Exoton Knight. They're always thinking about like the Ecclesia Synchro or something else, right? Like the Magistus Synchro. So yeah, the Exoton was quite a cool tech for this tournament. You pay the extra Ecclesias, so going second, Ecclesia is basically Cyber Dragon that summons Exoton Knight. This card against a Drake Hotel player who's not aware is incredibly broken. It will trade for all their traps, the Fallen, the Virtuous, whatever monsters they had on board. And against Radiant, it's just generically really good. Exoton will always be really good against Radiant because they don't have much monster removal. so you get to trade for a lot of their back row in one go.
Yeah,
So yeah,
definitely.
really cool deck.
Yeah, I love seeing like kind of innovative things like this. You would never expect to see like a rank 4 in a Draco Tail deck. So huge props. Like you can tell like these guys, they're at the top of the game when they're coming up with cool like creative ideas like this. And Danilo actually says that him and Keanu's they're roommates. We had the same deck. He just played an extra spell. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. You guys are roommates. You guys are like being roommates and both you making top 4 at the YCS. That is actually such an unreal thing. I won my top 8 match with this. Keanu won like 7 matches with Exoton alone. That's insane. Insane, man. Huge props to you for that. Ahmed, forgive me. I'm off to watch the football. Much love, guys. Hopefully, see you both this weekend. Yes, Josh will be in Germany Friday, but he will be back in the UK playing at Dudley Regional Sunday. So yeah, we're locked in, and I'll be at both the UK regionals this weekend. Shout out to 8 viewers on Twitch. Love everyone showing up. Please, if you haven't followed, make sure to follow. We've got 11 viewers on YouTube. Thank you for everyone showing up. Please like the stream. Joe says Magnet Warrior would have won if betas were cheap. Then you would have had if you had betas, Josh. This could have been a whole different timeline.
If I had betas, there was no way I was buying those for £20 each. But beta might be the GOAT. Might be the GOAT.
Magu, watch the space.
Magu,
Watch the space. Okay, cool. Now we have Dario who made top 8 with Malice. You know, I don't want to spend too much time looking at Malice. This is the same Malice deck that we've known and we've seen for a long time. You know,
yeah, there's been a few cool innovations with Malice. This guy's not really playing any of them. He plays Heat Soul, which is like the only unique thing now because you need another Link 3. Malice players are playing like one of the Code Talkers, which quick effect summons from grave by banishing to the White Binder. Cool. I've said like 3 things about Malice. Can we go next?
Skip. Next. Okay. What's cool though is Gabriel, who is a Malice warrior. He's from France, right? The French Malice warrior. This guy was killing it with Malice, and he switched it up. He played Radiant Typhoon Fiendsmith, and I really like this because it's very similar to the OCG deck. I was actually very much considering playing this, just the 1 engraver to give the deck that highest ceiling, and but huge props for him for playing it, and 3 Sheena, that's really cool to see. I really like this deck. I thought it was very cool, and I like that he didn't play the Fuas in the main. It's just the 3 Ashes and the Cool Bite to counter the opponent's Fuas, because I feel like Fua was like quite a weak card, like going into the meta, because the 2 best decks was Radiant Typhoon and Draco Tail.
Yeah, I thought this list was interesting. I think the most interesting thing I found here was he decided not to play a consistency card. And a lot of the talk about Radiant Typhoon is you need to play a consistency card because the deck isn't consistent enough. And he just said, nah, I'm not going to do it. And it was obviously very successful with it. I also think when I was kind of testing this deck, I kind of saw Super Poly and Fua as like an interchangeable last deck slot, because Super Poly isn't too great in this deck when you go first. A lot of the time you lock yourself into wins or potentially didn't maintain the hand advantage, and just feels a bit awkward when you go first. But it's still that blowout like Fua going second, which is cool.
Yeah, for sure. I was very back and forth with Super Poly. I always find it to be like an awkward card. It's like cards. It feels like sometimes quite situational, and I also really don't like discarding too. But this discarding one, like using 2 cards out your hand, right? But it is very powerful, and I think especially against Draco Tail, being able to like clear their guys to make a Secretarion and make them go very minus to clear your Secretarion, for example. Or just being able to lock them out the game is quite interesting. And then seeing the extra deck here, you got the package, and you got the Fiendsmith package as well. Just very light with Caesar, Requiem, the Jin as well. So just fairly streamlined. And then the side deck 3 Purge, 1 Duster, Magnuma, Shifter, which is interesting to see. Still got that Malice core in the heart. We need to keep that the 1 Shifter. But it is a blowout. So and Radiant Typhoon can play comfortably under shifter than all the Prulies and the Fuas. And sphere mode. Sphere mode is interesting. What are your thoughts on sphere mode?
I think like the kind of consensus going into the weekend was you had to play Sphere Mode or Lava Golem in your Radiant deck because some people are going to try and FTK you. You want out for Lygadon, so you want out for Spell Canceller, for I can't remember the name. The guy who says you can't activate quick play spells, Invader of Darkness.
Invader of Darkness, yeah,
You wanted to, yeah, you wanted it out for all of these types of cards. So you play Lava Golem or Sphere Mode. They both have their pros and cons, as they always do. He chose Sphere Mode, which is fine.
Cool, cool. All right, moving on quickly. We have Jordan. You know, we've seen his deck, Drake Hotel deck. Shout out to Jordan for topping. We have pretty much two other
This
Drake
list was quite
Hotel
interesting
decks.
because he played
Ooh, let's have a look.
Branded Opening and
right?
Aluva. Yeah, as kind of extra ways to get to Branded Fusion. Can scroll down, yeah. So, so 3 extra ways to get to Branded Fusion essentially, and not much else really in the branded package that is not standard. Like he plays the Lubellion, he plays the Albion, the Shrouded Dragon, but those are relatively standard. But yeah, the extra copies of Opening for Branded Fusion. Branded Fusion is like an incredibly powerful Dracotel card. So it's quite a cool idea. Definitely something to mess around with if you're playing Dracotel.
For sure. And opening protecting your monsters, I'm sure, would be quite clutch in certain situations as well. Okay, and then yeah, top 16. You know, it's cool to see Julius, another former like YCS champion here, topping with Fiendsmith Yummy. Very interesting to see this deck take it there. Any thoughts on this deck?
Another deck that's kind of come out from the weekend. Yeah, so it's just kind of your pros and cons of the different Yummy variants. You can see this deck, if we count the hand traps, I'm counting 6, 12, 18, 20 hand traps, which is the biggest advantage of playing Yummy cards in your deck. The Yummy cards are incredible with like a high hand trap count. They require so little main deck space, so you get to play the high hand trap count, which is the main reason to play Yummy cards. I thought Julius's list was quite interesting. He plays the Akoki and the Assist Yummy, which are really good for the Fua lines because they give you 2 extra interruptions if you want to end on statue plus a level 1 or a half board with just the Yummies. And then if we scroll down to look at the extra deck, it's quite interesting. So he's not playing Fua in the main, playing it in the side, which is another interesting choice, which is quite solid. But yeah, if we look at the extra deck, he's playing the Reproductus to make the Yummies into Light Fiends, which is how you bridge, which is quite cool. He's playing Baphomet as a card to summon off a sequence, and then it can send the Diabells in the extra deck, which is essentially an FTK card against Radiant Typhoon, because you have to set all your spell traps before you activate them. If you set a quick play, you can't activate it that turn. So you can summon the Baphomet, dump this, SP to banish it, and then the Baphomet can reborn it in your opponent's turn. And then also the other interesting thing I thought I saw about his list was he plays a Muckracker. So the biggest problem with ending on Caesar is Fallen the Virtuous is a really popular card in the meta. And so believe he was ending on Muckracker with a DDD underneath it and Yummy cards. And Muckracker protects DDD, which is great, makes the board actually really solid and gets rid of the biggest problem of the Fiendsmith cards this format.
Yeah, for sure. And seeing the ciphering package in the side deck is very cool as well.
Yeah, there's 1-for-1 hand traps in Yummy, always so strong.
Yeah. Okay. And then
Shout out Connor.
Also, shout out Connor, of course. If you want to see the profile, if you want to see where they played, let me link it in the chat real quick. Actually, I'll do it on my other screen. And yeah, first let's do a quick look at Josh Schmidt's deck as well. Any thoughts on Sky? Well, I don't know how this deck does it. Like I think in this particular format, it was very good against Radiant Typhoon. I did actually get cooked by one Sky Striker player, like round 8 of Swiss. But yeah, like 3 Upstart Goblin, like 3 Pot of Desires, 3 Vision, 3 Engage. It does have a lot of gas.
Yeah, this deck's really interesting. It's like a Dinkabui creation, I heard. And that guy is never trying to play. He would never play Joker for this tournament. It's too good, you know. But yeah, I thought the Sky Striker deck was quite cool. I think the biggest advantage of this deck playing into boards is Flame and MST never negate against this deck. You have so many dodges. You have in this list you have 3 linkage, you have 3 Ash, you have Bell, you have 3 Fallen the Virtuous, the MST, the Vision to Search MST, the droplets. Realistically, the negates on the spells always resolve. So you get to essentially resolve all your interruptions into the board. So you're essentially just playing, you can force a grind game quite easily. And then to grind game, the game becomes really difficult. And so you force your opponent to play really well. So if you're a good player, I think this deck is really solid, really versatile, and really good into Radiant. So quite a cool choice for this tournament.
Yeah, for sure. And then the side deck is quite interesting.
Seeing some Forbidden Crown gameplay is quite cool
Yeah,
because it's
yeah.
not generically great into the format. It has matchups. It's good going first. Cool card to see some play. When we thought it was going to be really popular, but wasn't too popular at YCS.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dink always surprises me when he brings the deck like this to a tournament. Okay, cool. And next, we can quick look at the 2 Mitsu decks that made the top 16. So my boy Christopher Nielsen topped with this pure Mitsu deck, which was actually built by Jack Firma. Just very interesting to see the way that this deck has, been able to kind of like adapt, replacing the Habakiris with Manjus, having 3 draw 2 cards, so 3 pots and 3 visions to draw 2. So yeah, very, very interesting to see. Brixu specialist Josh Kelly. Any any thoughts on this pure Mitsu deck?
Yeah, I think the deck is pretty cool this format because it's never really had a good Draco Tail matchup, which was
Mm,
the biggest problem with Mitsu recently. But the Radiant matchup is actually quite solid. The MSTs are good into your board, but Futsu just grinds for so much advantage into their guys, so you can end up winning the game eventually. And then I quite like that with all these draw cards, you make the Draco Tail matchup actually better because the biggest problems with Joker Tail are them resolving 5 mana at the end of your main phase and Thing being really difficult to interact with. So I really like here that they have the 5 outs to Sting that they can deep draw into, which is really nice. And then the extra copies of Manju are cool because they decided not to play Impulse, and Impulse is pretty bad against Radiant in this format. So yeah, it's a really cool list made specifically for the format and making changes based on the ban list. Like they played a 2 Ritual Spell. Ritual Spell is really awkward now that you don't get to play 3 Habakiri. So yeah, I think that they adapted really well to the format. And
sure.
Jack said that he thought the deck was really good and he didn't, just had an unlucky weekend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
for
I think it's a
sure.
really
Yeah.
solid list.
And with Radiant Typhoon, like having all these chainables really just cooks their mandate. It just turns off that
Yeah.
negate. And I think when you Murakumo them, like they find it really hard. Like when you clear all their bodies, it's quite hard for them to recover and get those bodies back, especially when you're applying pressure with a Murakumo, like you said, having a Futsu just to keep you in that grind game.
Yeah. And you can see
Okay.
they play the Photon Lord, which I think is like a really solid toolbox option in the extra deck right now because it means if you put 2 level 8s on board and your opponent has the 5 mana in hand, if they don't activate it there, they can't activate it. You
Yeah.
get to trade for it, which is the biggest problem for Mitsu this format is it's difficult to force out 5 mana. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I
For
really
sure.
like that choice.
For sure. And the other Mitsu deck, let's have a look at this. By Yannick Ackerman. Um, okay, very similar concept with just a few more rituals and more board breakers
They
over
got the
hand traps.
storms in the main deck over the ashes and the bells. Interesting.
Yeah, this one's completely different in terms of no Ash, no Bell in the main deck. It's 3 Lightning Storm, harpies, and like they went pretty ham with the virtuous and droplets.
Yeah, and they play a second Futsu as well to make up for the ritual numbers, and so they can still play the 3 ritual spell, which is cool.
Yeah, very cool to see. And again, their side deck is just very catered to the meta. Double Cyclone is still insane, especially in the deck that plays a lot of spells. Defissure is crazy as well. Really cool, interesting kind of meta. Cool, huge respect. I feel like it takes a lot of guts to take a deck that everyone thinks is dead, right? Everyone thought Mitsurugi was done, and
Yeah,
even you, like you've won so many tournaments with it. You've had your best like premier event performances. You almost went to Worlds with Mitsu last summer at Euros, and people thought the deck was done. And it takes a lot of courage to pick up a deck and say, "Nah, it's still got it. It can still do something." And to take it there or almost take it there is great to see. So,
yeah.
shout out to you, Yannick, for doing that. Okay, so I think that's enough for the YCS Dortmund. Let's go have a look at the at YCS. We'll go to Guadalajara next. And yeah, we got a little pie chart here, which is quite nice to see. It's quite a similar kind of split. Radiant Typhoon, Draco Tail, VS, Yummy, Malice, a bit of branded.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult to know here because we don't have as much information. But you can, like, it's about the representation we expected. Still Malice making top 4 here. And
yeah,
Vanquish Shoal winning the event again, even though very few Vanquish Shoal made the top 64. But the Vanquish Shoal player that makes it wins, takes it there. And that's the kind of deck Vanquish Shoal feels like it is. Not many people are going to top with it, but that one guy who does, he's going to take it all the way to number 1.
Yeah, for sure. One quick thing, guys. We have 13 viewers on YouTube. Shout out to everyone for turning up. Appreciate you. Please drop a like on the stream. We're only at 1 like right now. Help your boy out. We're trying to make it out of the hood, with this online content creation, with streaming. So help help your bros out here. Me and Josh are trying to make it out of the hood with this one. So like the stream and share it. And so Vanquish Soul, Yummy being in the final is very cool to see. Let's have a quick look. This deck looks quite similar to. So shout out to Francisco for making the finals there. Very similar to what Julius played, but they actually main decked the Cyframe package. And it's very interesting to see people like the whole meta shifted where people decided to not play the Fuas in the main. I think there's only one in the main deck here, and I don't know why. Maybe just for siding patterns.
They have the other 2 on the side? Yeah.
Cross out and 2 on the side, just for siding patterns, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, you can also see here they did a similar thing to what Julius did with Diabels. You've got the Baphomet and then End of Anubis and Invader of Darkness, 2 crazy floodgates.
They went ham.
So the person has the option to summon those. Insane.
Yeah. And Santa Claus is interesting. It's a light fiend. So
yeah, you can search it with Tracked.
Search it with Tracked. Okay, that makes sense. Very cool tech. Love to see stuff like that. Because I think I saw one Santa Claus in another list there. Okay, cool. But yeah, and then the only other thing I wanted to look at, there was a Mermail list as well. Shout out to Nicola, bro. You should have played Mermail. Nicola. Why'd you a panda? Okay, this is a fairly similar Mermail list to what we've.
I want to see these anti-magic arrows. They must be on them, right?
Oh, yeah. There we go. Anti-magic arrows. This is the tech. This is what literally takes Mermail to that next level. You literally play this card and you just win the game. And then what is this?
Biggest reason to play it right now. Gordian Slicer.
This card's activation and effect cannot be negated. Yeah. That's always a nice start to the card. This card's activation effect cannot be negated. At the start of your main phase 1 or 2, target any number of face-up cards on the field. For each targeted card, banish 1 card from your hand or 6 cards from your extra deck face down. Return those targets to the hand. Okay, so lets you pretty much out, multiple cards on the board, and then your opponent is not able to respond to it. Nice. Or like not able to
it's really interesting.
Stop it.
because yeah, the main reason it hasn't been played is because of extra deck space, right? If you give up 12 cards in your extra deck to bounce 2 monsters, is it really worth it? And I think the most awkward thing with this card is it can't be negated, but it can be responded to.
Mm.
So, for example, this came out around when Mitsurugi was a really popular deck. If you activate this and you target Murakumo, they can't Purification to negate this, but they can just Prayers Tribute the Murakumo.
Mm.
So it'd be interesting to get some insight from this duelist and understand where they thought it was really powerful, because they obviously did really well, so it must be really solid.
Yeah, yeah. I imagine like if people just like didn't read the card properly and just thought they couldn't respond. I can
Yeah,
imagine
yeah,
that may have
potentially.
happened. Okay, and then the ice barrier at the side. Okay,
Listen,
cool.
yeah, Nyan, you're the only person who wanted VS to win all three, man.
Why Nyan? Give us
Enter
a reason.
Nam.
Why,
Come on,
why
man.
Nyan? Why did you want VS to win all three events? And you were praying for it. Why? Tell me. Tell us why. Okay, let's uh, move on to the next event, which will be the 300th YCS
The
Richmond. So let's
only
go to
300th
America.
YCS that Vanquish Soul didn't win. Can
And
you
that's
believe
because
it?
Kamal the GOAT, taking down the seventh ring. This guy is like Thanos, bro. Like he's gonna have a second gauntlet soon. You know, he's run like all the fingers in one hand is done. Now we're doing the other hand. Jesus, this guy can't be stopped. But he's the GOAT for real. Huge props, huge props. So let's have a look here at the. We'll just go straight to that first place deck profile. Actually, before that,
Yeah,
let's
so
look at the
most
numbers.
interesting deck to kind of make the top cut here. If you see only 6 Yummy, made
VS
top
was very
64, which is a
heavy.
bit low. Yeah, kind of Vanquish Soul
What's
there.
and what's crazy is that like it's interesting to see the
Pretty
play
long, though.
styles, right? Because in EU, I feel like we're a lot more like we tend to go for mid-range decks more. We're not like combo wombo, whereas in America they're more like combo wombo. Like they prefer combo decks than more
Yeah,
aggressive decks. Like Radiant Typhoon was hardly played six in the top 64, whereas in the EU it was like the second most represented deck. And same in Guadalajara, it was had like you know a high representation. But here,
yeah.
it's crazy to
And
see
even when you look at
Malice.
the Joker Tail
Yeah.
lists,
Mm.
from these YCSs, they're built more combo style, more like this is a starter, this is extender, less like the EU list of there's more Urgulas, there's more pans. So it's even just looking at a deck list, it's interesting to see the play styles.
For sure, for sure. And one memento made it all the way to the top four. OT Khaled, that should have been you, bro. You're losing your crown as the best memento player. You need to step it up, bro. Okay, let's have a look at the deck now. So yeah, big shout out to Kamal for taking it there with Radiant Typhoon, Yummy, and I'm sure Triff is happy because he was like he's a Yummy advocate, so I'm sure he's very happy to see Yummy like really holding it down. Um, any thoughts on this deck?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's interesting to kind of to think of the advantages of what the different engines give you.
Hmm.
So the Yummy stuff is really good into low impact. It's really good at OTKing, but it has problems into boards and it has problems with high impact hand traps. So the main one being Fua, pretty bad into Nib too. So the two kind of engines have different problems, and so they kind of make up for each other in that case. Whereas like the Radiant stuff is really good into Fua, really good into stuff like Nib. It makes the end board ceilings higher, and they're pretty solid into boards, which is quite nice. And then he's playing a bigger Tri Brigade package than we saw prior to the YCS. So the Tri Brigade cards can be starters more often. So I believe in this deck kit, Tri Brigade kit, the original one, is one card full combo. And Nerval is also one card full combo, which is really cool. So the only kind of Tri Brigade brick is the new Tri Brigade Spriggans kit. But yeah, it's a really cool deck. I would love to see how the games went because I don't believe in this deck. I
Yeah.
think I don't believe in it. You get Peruliad, you're sad. You get Fuad, Rahu's breaking your whole board. Like, I'm not a believer, but he won the YCS. I'm just happy I came 64th. So this guy knows what he's talking about more than me, you know.
Yeah, we should definitely we should watch the future matches. I haven't had time to watch them, so it'd be interesting to see how the games played out.
Yeah, I mean, I watched his in the finals. He was playing against Mario D'Amico on Vanquish Soul, and Mario opens Holy Sue Fire Dark, right? If you're playing Draco Tail and your opponent opens Holy Sue Fire Dark, you probably lost. All right, you call it a day. You tell everyone he just opened Holy Sue Fire Dark, and everyone understands. Come on, full comboed. It didn't matter, right? And that's
full combo through it.
One of the big things about these decks. Like stuff like Holy Sue Fire Dark doesn't matter. You'll just play through it. That's low impact to you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
and
insane. Yeah, that's insane for sure. And I love the side deck was very techy, like having the Oath in the side deck to have like an extra negate, and having the extra, Radiant Typhoon monsters just to be able to set up like a more versatile board and also play through like the hand traps a bit better when you're going first. Really
interesting.
cool side
a lot
deck.
of decks that I saw, like a lot of people for the YCS were just playing Corsairs in their side with like a Corsair, 2 Vision, and MST, stuff like that. So that when you go second, your opponent is going to use a quick play spell, and you can use this Corsair, and it's just going to get a ton of value as an independent card. So I'm curious as to why he didn't do that, because it sounded really solid to me. But also Radiant was a lot less represented there, so kind of makes sense if you expected that.
Yeah.
But yeah, really cool deck.
Okay, and then Mario playing VS, taking it to the finals. So VS in all 3 finals, which is just insane to see. This deck is definitely on the chopping block once again. So probably enjoy your stakes, enjoy your Razins while they last, and probably after you've had your fun, make sure to sell them before they crash in price. But yeah, this is a fairly standard kind of VS K9 deck. Except
lists are really similar.
Lower K9 package, fair. Cool.
Yeah, I think his list and the list that won Dortmund were really similar. Yeah, not much to say. This deck was quite cool.
Yeah, Steve Logan making top 4 the Radiant Typhoon Memento. This is we should have had the expert here. OT Khaled should be talking about this. 40 cards, quite a streamlined deck. Yeah, this is very interesting.
2 Bone Party.
2 Bone Party.
2 Sleepy.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really say much because I'm not an expert in this field.
This guy right now, he's looking at his YCS effect Vela, smiling, man.
What did you get out your day 2 pack? Gargoyle Magician?
Nah, I got Charge of the Light Brigade. Decent one.
Oh yeah. You've got 2 now, right? You need to get.
I got one at Euros, but I sold that one, so I just got 1 now. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, he's playing Zoroa, the Magistus Fusion. So I think what you can do is you can make the Artemis.
Yeah.
And then I don't believe he plays any Magistus in his main deck, if you want to check.
Yeah, there's no Magistus in the main or side.
Yeah, so what I assume he's doing is making an Artemis under Proxy F Magician. And then you can use Proxy to fuse the Artemis and itself and summon the Zoroa, and then you just have a monster negate. Seems pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah. And Danilo says this list is terrible. Never seen a worse Memento deck in my life. This guy is clueless. Yo, what I want to see here is I want to see a match between Danilo and Stephen Logan. If you're out there, for me, that's anytime someone talks shit about anything, I want to see these 2 people play off. So Stephen, I need to find you.
Match.
Yeah. Danilo, he says he knows Memento. I'm gonna find you, and I'm gonna, we're gonna run this game, and we're gonna stream it, and we're gonna commentate, and we're gonna get OT Khaled as well to commentate over this game. And we might even have to invite Firmino as well. Is it Firmino?
Flaminio, yeah?
Yeah, we might have to invite him as well. He's a Memento god too, right? He was playing it
Yeah.
at he played it at Dortmund. I saw him like early on in the tournament playing the deck.
Yeah,
Um,
I think I was sitting next to him in the last round. So
okay,
he might have made the top 64.
okay. All right. So
But yeah, this list is
uh,
very interesting. The second Sleepy over the second Bone Party. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one.
but yeah,
Danilo topped Euros last year with Memento, so he's got some experience there.
Oh shit. Okay, respect. I didn't know that. I didn't know that you topped the Euros with Memento as well. Respect, respect. But yeah, two Malice in top eight, which is crazy to see. Giovanni, someone that I've actually
Horrible to
known for
see.
quite a while. Huge shout out to you for making top eight there with Malice. Yeah, great job, bro. Great job. I know this top meant a lot to you, so great to see. And then world's champion Julian making top eight, locking it in with Drake Hotel. Oh, with the Exaton in the side. So I'm assuming you guys must have been working together on this list.
Can't believe
Um,
this guy played one Ursula.
one
Ursula's the
Urgular.
goat. One
Yeah,
Ursula. I'd pay four if I could.
yeah, Urgular is crazy. Um,
Danilo saying, yeah, he will be a lot less nice than me. Sleepy is good, but one Dark Blade being the best name, and Bone Party is your best card. I agree. One Bone Party. Maybe he only had one. Maybe he lost his third one. You know, or two Bone Parties. Yeah.
crazy. Okay, and yeah, so that is the top eight, and also we had a a Lunalight deck make the top eight. This was David Mendoza. Shout out to you for being, I think, the only Lunalight across all three YCSs to make top eight.
Top eight, yeah.
That's got to be right, yeah. So
This deck is
your
so
Ligers
suspect for this guys, yes.
did not get lava golems or spear moded. You took it there. And three Denko Seekers in the side. Denko Seeker is one of my favorite cards ever. Is up there like top three favorite Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So amazing to see this card see play. Um, so yeah, respect. Any thoughts on this deck?
Um, this guy must have had a good weekend because
Hate on it. I
I
can
was
tell you want
thinking
to hate
about.
on it. Just hate on it. Hate
I
on
want to
it, bro.
hate. I want to hate. I was thinking
Hate.
about this deck for the YCS, and he just didn't play against Radiant Typhoon. But you're telling me round two, I'm gonna sit across from some Radiant Typhoon dickhead. He's gonna put a Crosayer in defense and gonna try and deck me out. That's the Lunalight experience, man. Your opponent has a Crosayer in defense, and they think they're gonna deck you out. What else does this guy have to Crosayer in defense? Imperm. I guess MST'd. What else we got? What else we got? This guy can't out Crosayer in defense position, man. He can't out Crosayer in defense. I don't know,
Crazy.
man. I don't know.
Crazy. Well, David, shout out to you. Well done. Next. Okay, so I think that's a decent kind of coverage of the event. We can take a quick look at Genesis while we're here as well. So just a quick look at what won and made the final. So at Dortmund, we had Conrad make the finals, a win with Cool Tunes. We love to see Cool Tunes. Um, I don't really know much about Genesis, like as in like the format itself. I know Cool Tunes is a
Schooled
good deck in it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the decisions you can make in Kultrin, he decided to play more consistency cards in the Earthbound Prisoner Stone Sweeper, which
Yeah,
is a bit of a starter in the deck. And that's basically the only decision. He decided to play less hand traps, more consistency.
yeah,
Yeah, Kultrin's a really good deck in Genesis. He gets to play, like you can see most of his points here are on non-engine. So Kultrin's really solid because it gets to play this non-engine. So it has like a really good matchup spread. If you look at his extra on his side. He's probably playing the Zarlin. He probably has some points to the Zarlin as well. Oh, no Zarlin. Interesting. Oh, wait, is there? Yeah, well, Zarlin is about 10 points, I think. So Zarlin's a cool one. And then, yeah, praying the gravity collapse. I don't love that card. I think it never resolves, but if it resolves, you win the game on the spot. So pretty cool. But this is a pretty standard Genesis cool tune list, to be fair. I think the most unique thing here is the Stone Sweepers. Him just saying, I want consistency. I want to draw my engine cards. They're good. Which is cool.
Okay, cool. Next we had White Forest.
Cool tune, White Forest.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So it looks like they're using the White Forest cards as the starters, which are pretty solid starters, especially with the Toy Soldier. And the Estella, the White Forest normal summon, which is the middle monster at the top.
This one, right?
That one, yeah, Estella. It's the strongest one card combo in White Forest. Well, 1.5 because you use Spell Trap. But it's not played in standard modern White Forest because it loses pretty hard to Ash, pretty hard to Fua, then like Imperms and Veilers. But because those cards are pointed in Genesis, you have the opportunity to play this as like a really strong one card starter in Genesis. It's a really cool difference between modern and the Genesis format. And we can see they play the Synchro Overtake, which I believe the only targets for that would be Rico and Mix. So it looks like they're going Synchro Overtake, Search, Rico, or Mix. And then the one they summon searches the other one. And then that's immediately a 5 setup. So they're playing just RS and Remix. So that's actually quite cool. They're playing like a splashable cool tune package, which they might potentially sometimes be able to bridge into. But it's just Synchro Overtake sets up a Spell Trap pop, a Monster pop, and a Negate. That's actually quite a cool package that you might play around with because there's no bricks if you don't need to use a normal summon. So yeah, quite a cool idea. Really cool deck from this second place duelist.
Sweet. Yeah, no, shout out to you, Luigi, for getting top 4 with that list. And then we have VS also making top 4.
This is from a world's competitor, Johannes
Oh,
Bauer.
is it Johannes? Oh, this is okay. Regenesis VS. Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah. Royal Archfiend in this deck, which is cool. In the main, which you can discard to add an Archfiend card, so it adds Regenesis Archfiend. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Extra consistency. Didn't think about that. That kind of crossover.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Putting points on their shifters. Can't believe it.
The one damage juggler in the side.
Yeah. I
wonder
what
what this is for.
Maybe something in the main. Oh, it might be searchable of 7th Tachyon. And maybe there's a FTK deck in the format. If you know why there's a damage juggler there, then
I mean,
let us know.
technically, it can negate this.
Oh, can I get a Snow Devil? Pretty cool.
Yeah, it can negate Snow Devil.
Is that the new tech? Are we going to start siding 3 damage jugglers?
But what makes me sad is there's not even anything to search off the damage juggler.
Yeah.
It's just there. Cool. And then what's the 7th Ascension?
Just adds the 7th Tachyon.
Right, just an extra
consistency.
Cool. And then like another Cool Tunes deck in top 4.
A Monarch deck in top 8.
A Monarch deck. Let's have a quick look at the Monarch deck here.
No Domain. He is playing an extra deck.
Yeah.
So
we got this is for Zaborg, right?
Zaborg, yeah. So you have like the choice between your power plays and your Monarch deck. This format, which is pretty cool. So you can choose Domain or Zaborg, I think are the options. I think there might be another build that I can't remember, but yeah, Monarchs is pretty cool. It's really cool to see like a really heavy engine deck, which is nice. This deck plays 37 engine cards and 3 nibs. Yeah. That's really cool. You don't really see that in Modern Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. One of the cool things about Genesis.
Yeah, definitely is like a very old school looking deck where like DD Crows in the side, like Cosmic Cyclones. It's just very down to the like low to the ground type deck. Okay, cool. Let's have a look at the other Genesis YCS that they had at Richmond.
So
So
if we look at like the
rates,
amount of players, they had 400 people participating in Genesis YCSs between Richmond and Dortmund, which is pretty cool. I think they both were meant to cap out at 400, so they filled about halfway. But that's pretty cool to see because it's 200 people who said, "I'm not going to play in the main YCS. I'm going to play in the Genesis YCS." That's the reason I've come out to this event, which is pretty cool to see because I would have loved to participate in the Genesis YCS, but I would never choose it over the main event YCS. So I'm not really the right crowd for this. But it's cool to see that there's 400 people who were at these YCSs who said this is more important to me than playing in the main YCS. So
yeah, for sure.
format's doing decently.
Yeah, for sure. Quick shout out to the viewers. We've got 17 viewers on YouTube, 5 viewers on Twitch. Guys on YouTube, please make sure to like the stream. On Twitch, if you haven't followed yet, please do follow your boy. And yeah, appreciate you. Okay, let's have a look at some of these decks. So Radiant Typhoon took first place. This is one of the best decks in the in the Genesis format. So it's quite interesting to see. Let's have a look. They did play Horse of the Floral Knights. So they had like a little noble knight kind of package here, right?
Yeah, so the horse just adds the shield bearer.
Yeah.
So it's a level 3 that searches Eldom essentially, which is just gives you an extra body, which is pretty cool. And because Eldom and Chant are both points, you want to commit points to at least one Eldom and one Chant. And then you get to play these extra options as consistency, but don't take up your points. Hop Air Squadron's pretty cool.
Mm.
Potentially you hit them with a turn 0 Crossayer into a Hop Air Squadron. How greedy. And then, yeah, it looks like they played Mirage of Nightmare, which is 0 points now, which is cool. And you can always MST that. And the Dominus Purge, they commit some points too.
So with this, so once per turn during opponent's standby phase, draw until you have 4 cards in your hand. If you do during your next standby phase, after that, randomly discard the same number of cards you drew. So if you MST this, you don't have to resolve the last part. Is that how it works?
Yeah, so you draw until you have 4 in hand in the standby phase. And then when it comes back around to your turn, you can just MST this in the draw phase. You don't have to discard any card. And then you just activate a card that said draw 4.
That's
So
crazy. That is
pretty
crazy. Like you
insane.
get to, it's the
0
crazy
points as
tech.
well.
Get to draw 4. How greedy,
Yeah.
Mirage of Nightmare in Genesis. Crazy. And let me just have a look. Who gave us a follow? Yo, Fitzy YGO, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Um, yeah, cool. Very cool to see. Um, this is a cool card to
Yeah,
see
and
Ultimate Slayer in the side deck.
pretty staple, like really strong card in Genesis Ultimate Slayer. You have more
Yeah,
options here with the Chimera fusion. Also, I
yeah.
think a cool thing to note in their extra deck is they're playing the Jurishin, the Synchro 11.
This one, yeah.
So it seems like that's their plan for Hopper Squadron. They get a Sheena or a Varun or a Phonics on the board, use their Hopper Squadron, make this bomb, which can destroy all face-up monsters or all face-up spell traps your opponent controls, which is pretty insane.
Mm. I do love like seeing both like XZs and synchros and fusions. I love when I see like a variety of cards in the extra deck. Like, my favorite decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Are decks that like use multiple summoning mechanics and like just flow between them. So yeah, really cool to see that. Okay, let's have a quick look at the other decks. So Doom Z, this is very interesting to see. Shout out to Nicholas for making, being the runner-up at the Genesis YCS in Dortmund with Doom Z. I don't really know much about this deck. Josh, you're gonna have to carry here and give some insights. What are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, so Doomsday is its first wave of support was really lackluster, but the cards were quite
Mm.
efficient. And then in Burst Protocol, they got this card right in the middle, the first spell card, Doomsday
Uh,
Change, which destroys a Doomsday in your hand, deck, or field. And then if this card is destroyed, you get to add one from graveyard to hand, and then special summon the Doomsday from your hand. So the main thing here is it destroys a Doomsday card from your deck. And all the Doomsday consistency effects trigger when destroyed. So this is an extra consistency card. And the Doomsday cards, they're good in multiples. You want to open 2 to 3 engine cards to actually really get your deck rolling. And then the trap card in this deck, Doomsday Destruction, which equips to a Doomsday monster and says cards cannot be added from the main deck to your opponent's hand except by drawing them. It's Mistaken Arrest. And you can search it and you can equip it to one of your monsters, and it's Mistaken Arrest. I actually watched the start of the finals for this Proto YCS, and the Doomsday player goes first. He sets up his combo, he flips up Doomsday Destruction, his opponent chains MST. And that was the game over. So it does have some problems. It does have some problems, definitely. But it's a deck that can set up most of the time with the 2-card combos, a negate in their rank 8 extra deck monster, and Mistaken Arrest. And so they make it so your opponent can't search. You have a negate to protect your negate, and then you can apply pressure next turn. They can also search any equip spell in their deck. So you can see the Premature Burial here, which is pretty cool. Banned card in the TCG.
Wow.
Pretty cool. And then also you'll see the only engine card in their deck that has points is that Premature Burial. They've got some pretty strong non-engine here with the Nibs, the Ashes, stuff like that. So a solid deck. Don't get
Yeah,
MST.
very, very cool. Nyan says Doomsday best deck. Okay.
Yeah, do you want to buy my Doomsday cards? Do you want to buy my Doomsday cards?
Okay, cool.
I think they are getting more support, to be fair. Nah, tell us about the support. What support are they getting?
And now we got a Drake Hotel. Eddie Schrom, shout out to you for finishing in the top 4. Drake Hotel Shadol with the
So
King of the
Dracotel
Swamp package.
has quite a lot of points allocated to his engine in Genesis. So you can see they only have space for 2 Katus, 1 fine mana. And but it's still really strong. You don't really have the turn 0 play of fine mana, and you only have 1 Arthalion. But if you get to set all your traps, you get to trigger your Dracotel effects, it's still insanely strong. I think a big reason that this deck wasn't played as much in the Proto YCSs is because you play Genesis to not play against Drake Hotel and to not play Drake Hotel. So I think this deck is actually a bit more powerful in Genesis than you'd think, but it's considered, it's the most represented deck in the top cards in TCG. So if you're playing Genesis and you don't want to play Drake Hotel, it's probably a good choice.
Yeah,
Have some fun.
boycotting the meta. Yeah, for sure. I respect that. K and Dude 3, Dooms Booms shaking up the glooms. Yeah, for real, spicing things up. We also have an Onomat deck, which is very cool to see. And there's not even any rival cards, it's just all Onomat cards. So what do they summon here?
This deck is so lame.
What's the win condition?
They just put level 4s on the board, man.
I love rank 4s.
It's just like, get this deck off my screen, man. Fine. This deck it puts a 4 on the board, then 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 it puts a 4 on the board. At least this deck has a few rank ups. They're playing Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray, which is a monster negate on the second far left. This guy is like a targeting.
They just make a wide board. They just make a wide board with a bunch of rank 4s and like this.
Yeah, the guy on the right's pretty strong, like unoutable, snatch deal, big guy, and then they can search the last card in the deck, the trap, which is like a counter trap.
Yeah, I know about this one.
Yeah, and in the side they got Tachyon Transmigration. What's that Galaxy Eyes monster?
Cool.
Where is that Galaxy Eyes monster? Galaxy Photon Dragon? It's not a Galaxy Eyes monster. This card doesn't look very activatable. Scroll up. Oh, they have
Oh no,
the
it's
Tachyon
Primal.
Primal, yeah. So I
Lab
think
is
it,
broken. Sorry. Lab is broken in Genesis if you don't get paired into MST, Drake Hotel versus Regenesis or Artmage, or VS Regenesis or Artmage. So if you just don't play any deck.
if you don't pay Genesis, Lab is broken.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you gonna say, bro?
Um, oh, this deck, the reason like it's kind of played in Genesis is Genesis doesn't really have negates, and this deck has negates.
I see. Okay, cool.
If you like to negate,
Um,
play this.
Also, don't you feel like putting two level fours or like two monsters and overlaying them together and then putting an Xyz on top, isn't that just a very satisfying feeling? Like the tactileness of it. I love Xyz
When
summoning.
it's like special, but in this deck, nah.
Okay,
In this deck, nah. Because
okay.
once you've made your 15th rank 4 for the turn, I'm getting tired of it now, man. I'm getting tired. The first time you summoned the rank 4 was cool. The second time, it was alright. The fifth time, just do something new, man. Just do something new. I know
Says the guy that
KMG
played. This
hated
says the
me.
guy that played all fusion, like a whole fusion deck, basically. Like
Listen,
your
man.
extra was all
I had
fusions,
a
right?
synchro
And
monster
one
in my
synchro.
extra deck.
One
And I
synchro.
only summoned 2 fusion monsters a turn. 2. I'm not greedy with it, man. These rank 4
Crazy,
players, they're greedy with it.
crazy. Um, okay, so this is another like kind of VS Regenesis deck. They actually played Vanquish Soul Pantera, which is crazy.
Pluton. Pluton HG. Insane.
Yeah. Um, let's see what chat is saying. What is chat saying? Emperor Jibs, is the VOD gonna stay up on YouTube? Uh, are you named after Goyo Emperor? Hold up. I made his username five in year five, Lamo. Oh my god, you're so young, man. I'm just talking about year five. Crazy. Um, Yeah, this bot is gonna stay up on YouTube. It was last time we had audio issues. That's why like, and me and Josh are gonna run between the rounds back soon. Probably like next week or the week after. Because there's gonna be a little lull in regionals leading up to the UK Open. So we'll get some time in to do that. And then yeah, that is the Genesis. I guess there's another Monarch deck. We can have a look at this very quickly. Um, yo, three pot agreed. Three pot
Agreed.
agreed. How greedy!
Agreed.
Three pot agreed. Draw two cards. Yo, that's mad. I was not
This is a cool
expecting that.
list.
That was a
Same. Did
yeah.
they play any non-engine in the main apart from Agreed? Is
Let's
there
have a
any?
look. No,
No. Just the engine
no.
deck. Pretty cool. Pretty
Yeah,
cool.
just put your nuts on the table and just play your cards.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's have a quick look at some of the recent tournament results. So we've had quite a few regionals over the weekend. Most recent one, Dublin regional, taken down by Jordan Gallagher. So Dublin is in Ireland. Uh, half the top cut being Drake Hotel is crazy. Um, all the lists fairly similar. One was Magistus. Let's have a look at this. Jack Fitzpatrick playing Drake Hotel Magistus. This deck did not see a whole lot of play. It was very hyped up to be like one of the better decks going into the 300s. You think this is buns, right?
This was like some. Listen, if I had a masterclass to sell, I would hype up the deck too.
Okay.
Nah, I mean, even like Danilo was hyping this up originally, and he was like gonna play it, and like Pac ended up playing it and did pretty well with it. But not many other players we saw did very well with it, and it's just because Spenta Graveyard Effect is really good. The Graveyard Effect there, you can banish this card from your grave to equip from the extra deck. Really good effect. The other effect is fine, and it's like I would much rather have an Urgula in my hand. Urgula's the GOAT. All praise Urgula. Yeah, the Magician cards are cool. They have their uses, but in a 15 round tournament, I'm not trying to draw Crowley all day, man. And no one's ever letting me resolve the combo where I bridge between engines, so it never really counts as having a Draco tail name in hand. So it just makes your deck less consistent because the kind of thing, at least I figured out in testing, is your alternate engine almost never fusion summons going second. Like, my opponent never lets me go special summon Fallen of the White, special summon Ecclesia, make Ecclesia, Ecclesia summon Cartesia, Cartesia effect. No one's ever done that into a full board, right? You never get to that point. So same with like Spenta, it's not really like a way to fusion summon going second. But it is still pretty powerful, especially when your opponent doesn't read your cards.
Yeah, for sure. Stormfront DP Magoo question mark? Magoo, yes, Magoo. Okay, let's have a look at the next regional, which was the Richmond WCQ in America. Had 100 players. Have a quick look at that. Again, 3 Draco Tail, first, second, third. And then we have Radiant Typhoon, Yummy, Draco Tail, BS, and Magnet Warrior, but we don't have access to the deck list here. So shout out to Cornelius for making the top 4 with Magnet Warrior.
I'm trying to be like that
Okay,
guy. Those my Magnet Warriors.
yeah, let's go. Omaha, WCQ Regional. This one again. Draco Tail literally just dominating right now. 3 Draco Tail, 3 VS, 2 Yummy. And this was a Yummy Sulfur Core deck that made top 4. Shout out to Jamie Hunter. He was a Sulfur Core believer. Wait, is that Sulfur Core or is it Tri Brigade? That's got to be Sulfur Core, right? Let me zoom in on this. Yeah, okay, that's Sulfur Core for sure.
I mean, the Sulfur Cord stuff. Triff has come up with all these crazy combos you can do if you open 1 Yummy and 1 Sulfur Cord. You can hand loop your opponent for 5, and that's probably what that guy was doing.
Okay, now we have Lima WCQ, so we're going to go down to Peru, so South America, 215 duelists, so the biggest event of the ones we've covered from the most recent ones. But Malice, 3 out of the top 8, damn, and then 2 Radiant Typhoon, 1 Yummy, and VS. And this is Yummy Tri Brigade as well, taking first place. And this is a big deck, 50 cards. Oh, we got a cool tech with the Sprite Carrot. Okay, tell me about this. What's the? How does this work?
So what this is, it's essentially a brick, but it's not the worst brick because once you summon the Yummy Synchros, you can just put it on the board as an extender. And essentially what people are doing is most of the time with this deck, you end on the Sprite, you summon the Sprite Sprint, they kind of just sits there doing nothing. So what you can do is you can overlay that Sprite Sprint plus another 2 on board for Gigantic Sprite, and then you can summon out the Carrot. And
wow,
the Carrot is just an extra negate on your board. And also, if you have enough material to where you can leave the Sprite Sprint on board, you then get 2 interruptions from it. If you leave Gigantic on board, you have the Carrot to negate and the Sprint to detach from Gigantic to bounce. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, this is very, very cool. I love to see stuff like this. And then the side deck, 3 Evil Knees, 3 Tactics, the Black Goat, the DDG Tactics, Harpies. I like this side deck. It's very clean, very well put together. Yeah, very interesting deck. Very, very cool to see. Yo, who just followed or subscribed? David Acton subscribed on YouTube. David, shout out to you. Thank you for subscribing. Everyone, please like the stream. Thank you for everyone for showing up. If you're on Twitch and you're new here, please make sure to follow. I will be streaming very regularly, and your boy's trying to make it to 100 followers. Hey, JD, YGO, Nicholas, my friend, where the Magoo? The Magoo's coming, my friend. The Magoo's coming. DDG got to get banned, man. Sad face. Download ad block when. Get affiliate so I can use my Prime on you. Jibs, you're my guy, bro. Of course, get me to 100 followers, and I will be getting to affiliate soon. Okay, we will look at a couple more. Let's do. That's the Lima WCQ, and let's look at this one here in Honduras. Oh, there's nothing here. Did I say what, sorry?
Do you want to talk a bit about the new set and before we wrap it up?
Let's do that tomorrow because I actually got to go. Yo, DV Grinder, Magoo, yo, what's up, bro? Thanks for tuning in.
Come on,
Let's
Magoo
just
and that.
let's do one more regional. The Providence WCQ was the biggest regional from the Saturday, so let's just look at that. So yeah, we had 2 Radiant Typhoon in top. You know, Despia, K9, Yummy, Malice, Dracotel, and 1 unknown. And shout out to Joe Bogley for winning. He's an OG player, really great American player, like one of the day ones. And LeBlanc also making top 8 there. We don't really have the list except this one K9 deck. And this is just pure K9? Yo, this is just pure K9. Pure K9, bro. Crazy. Like, forget why you know, go Holy Sue Fire Dark when you just don't need to play any K9s in your deck?
Joku's at 1.
Any Vanquish Souls in your deck.
Joku's
Sorry.
at 1. He doesn't have starters, man. No starters.
Crazy.
Nah, there's starters.
This ain't it. This ain't it? Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like it's pretty hard in this deck to set up a board that doesn't lose to 1 Rahu, you know?
I mean, I feel like going second, what do you even do? You just summon 2 guys and then you just lose, right?
Yeah. You have like 2 pushes, right? You have Noroi and Lantern. So if your opponent has a Snatchy on board and level 1, you lost.
Yeah. Okay. Although this Ripper is pretty cool. Like, if you can get this on board.
Oh, that guy.
The new Ripper. The
other quick play spell was actually pretty cool. The release restraint. I saw a decent amount of people messing around with that in a Vanquish Show because it doesn't say during the main phase. So if you play against Radiant, they can't just MST it before main phase. And it's not as powerful because it doesn't get the extra pop. It's really flexible against Radiant. So if Radiant does become really popular, we might see Vanquish Show play this. But we're not even seeing them playing Force Release right now. So.
Yeah. Also, it can use any rank 5 to tag out into a K9. Which is very cool. It's not just for K9s, it's any rank 5, which is a very cool tech. Yeah, fair. Okay. Cool, bro. I appreciate your time. We're gonna call it there. Everyone, appreciate you all for turning up. We're gonna be live tomorrow afternoon. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow, stay tuned. We're gonna be opening up the new set and we're gonna talk about the new set. Maze of what was it? Maze of Muertos? Maze of Muertos. We're going to be opening up a box of this new set, looking at the Call of the Haunted cards, looking at the pumpkin stuff, also the Dark Magician support as well.